we are
So
live.
exited! I'm so exited.
I think the Yog Pod is excellent.
See? He gets it.
Is it working? There it is. I wasn't getting the notification.
Heck no. I don't know what's going on, by the way, but ever since I ended stream on Tuesday, the stream has, like, still been there, and you're able to go in, like, the waiting room.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah.
YouTube has decided we're in our popular phase and deserve to have a waiting room, I guess.
I guess typically that would mean that on YouTube, I didn't end stream.
Yeah.
But I went and checked, and I did. Because I was able to like the video before we started the stream.
You were able to smash that like button, hit
Yeah,
that
and
subscribe button, and ring the notification bell.
I don't do that one. I
Oh.
don't care for that. I don't like notifications.
Yeah.
Little superfluous. Like, I'm gonna check it anyway.
Well, regardless. Sorry, I'm eating cereal, everyone. Sorry.
I think at this rate, it'll be harder to find videos and streams where you're not eating than ones where you are.
We started right after I got out of class. I'm almost done with the bowl of cereal. I don't even remember where we left off because last week we did Tuesday, didn't we?
Yeah, we got a big break.
Yes, we did Tuesday. You didn't stream last week. That's right.
Yeah, because I was really busy.
So yeah, we've had over a week since we've done Umineko last, so I don't even remember where we were at. So let's find out.
Last time, as I recall it, we had pretty much done all the setup, and so now we're really, really on the island, on the right day. All the prelude stuff is done. That's pretty much it.
Oh, that's right. Last episode was a bunch of Canon Jessica stuff, and Canon harshly turned her down.
Yep. We also got to see Rudolph and a little peek into his problems. Who also thought George was having a hard time in the bathroom.
Yeah. My cousin was having a hard time last night.
Excuse you, my nephew.
Well, he's my cousin, because I'm Battler.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I'm trying to remember who else we got a little peek into. There was a whole...
We had a very brief peek at Kraus.
Yeah.
And Natsuhi.
A little Kraus Nazi action.
If you didn't think Natsuhi already had it rough, her husband has horrible, what's it called? When you're like, oh gosh, the word's escaping me.
I don't know.
Imposter syndrome.
Oh.
Where he feels like he can't live up to his family's lineage.
I just remember the line where they were like, it was like, yes, Kraus is really smart. He's just too smart. Like, they were like, the times have not caught up to his smartness.
He's so smart that he can see literally decades into the future with trends.
Yeah.
So he always loses because he's too far ahead. And then when he finally gives up and is like, all right, I guess I should stop, then that's when the trend happens.
Yep.
And he gets jibbed.
Yep. But I'm sure there might be some little details we're forgetting, but those are the big takeaways I remember last time. Oh, of course, there was the Maria Rosa action as well.
Yes, the
Holy moly.
extremely horrible family situation with those two.
Well, it's okay, because the Bad Witch took her over, so... But now the Bad Witch is gone, and Mama's back.
If you could see the look I'm giving. You mentioned it when we did the podcast last time, but I've started realizing that now, like, I self-insert my microphone for you guys. Whenever,
See?
like, I will, like, stare at my microphone as, like, the subject of something. Like, when you were saying that, I was giving my microphone a very disgusted look.
I got my camera. I stare at my camera. But I think that's it. Yeah,
Let's open the door.
Yeah, Maria and Rosa are on our thumbnail today, as well as the meta world. I wanted to find the exact meta world from the end of our last stream, and I couldn't find that background, so I just did this
done,
instead.
Like, the Facebook one.
Because I said world.
Yeah.
You're clever. Oh, by the way, can you share Umineko?
Oh, yeah! That's something I do, isn't it?
Yeah, usually.
Here we are.
Yay, there we go.
Every year, the relatives visiting Rokenjima would let out a sigh of admiration at the rose garden that first greeted them. They would stop there to chat about the rose's beauty and how well they were blooming that year. In the midst of all this, there was a single unhealthy rose, we know, and Maria became overwhelmed with dejection at its condition, we know. But George used his quick wits, and, saying that everything would be fine if they took care of this poor thing, marked it with a candy wrapper and immediately restored Maria's good mood, we know.
This is just the
I've already
footnotes.
been here before. Then Badler, with whom she'd been getting along with well since that morning, started talking about Halloween.
Halloween!
This was such a favorite topic of Maria's that she began playing around energetically again. To Maria, that marshmallow jack-o'-lantern candy bought by her mother was probably the greatest sort of treasure. They seemed to have bought several, and she demanded a trick or treat from every person she met, giving them candy instead of the other way around. I wonder why Maria likes Halloween so much. I always figured it was a pretty unfamiliar event for the Japanese. Well, it's a kids' festival where they get to parade around in costumes, right? It can be fun to play around in an outfit that's different than usual.
I think there's a slightly deeper cause behind it.
All Hallows Eve.
Precisely. After all, she is the witch, Maria-chan.
Come to think of it, when we were at the airport, didn't Maria say that if she was gonna wear a costume, it'd be a witch? Does she like witches? Aunt Rose is here.
Yes, she is here. Yeah, I'm looking. There's an ancient clip that was really popular from Umineko a long time ago. It's not really popular anymore, I don't think. I don't know. And I was looking at it because I was like, what episode is that in? And I had to rewatch it, but I realized it's from episode 8, so we have a while.
Holy moly.
All I'll tell you is that it has to do with Kinzo. Anyway. Yes, she loves them so much that it becomes a problem.
Still also kind of a side tangent. I do my best to not be spoiled by clips, but I did see this one. I saw this funny one that someone did. It was like 3 seconds long, and it's Battler debating with Erica. I didn't get any of what their debate was. All he says is, "Let me become Grandpa for a second," and then it goes meow, and he becomes Kinzo, and goes Beatrice.
You gotta let him cook. It all
Anyways.
makes sense in the end.
Oh, she's cheesing again.
She is.
Why did this sprite get introduced
They really
to us
liked
in
it in this
episode
one.
2?
They really like
We
it
didn't,
now.
I don't think we saw it a single time in episode 1.
I don't know if we did or not.
Hey, it's not so bad. You expect kids at that age to love fantastical stuff like that.
If it was just a heroine on some TV anime, at least it'd be cute.
Judging by Rose's appearance, she wasn't very happy about her daughter's love for witches as a mother. The cousins, other than Badler, seemed to realize this, and they shrugged, wearing stiff smiles. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty stiff smile. So you're arguing that because she likes witches, she also likes Halloween? I do not see how these two things are correlated at all. If we don't know, why don't we just ask her? Hey Maria, how are Halloween and witches related? Man, you're stupid. As Badler asked that, George and Jessica let out a stifled as if they were trying to stop him, but too late. Maria might have been waiting for just that question. Bah!
Oh,
After beaming for an instant, her expression turned a little mean, as if to say, "You're totally clueless, aren't you?" Me and Maria on the same wavelength right here.
true.
I'm becoming Maria. Oh no. It was the face of a hobbyist who's been ticked off by an outsider saying something stupid about their favorite subject.
No, I'm with that, though. I'm with that.
Oh. To the Celts, the changing strength of the sun over the course of a year signified its birth, its growing up period, its aging and death, and then its revival.
I get it. Do you? In spring, the week-warm sun starts to grow up and get hot. Okay.
Huh.
And then it gradually gets weaker and worn out. Sort of makes sense to think of it as the sun living out an entire life. I'm surprised you couldn't connect how witches and Halloween were connected, but you immediately were like, clearly, it is because of the passage of the seasons that they have this myth about the sun going through an entire life cycle.
We need a reason to say it to the audience. Also, this is a new song, by the way. This is Melody.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes! So they thought that at the end of October, the sun died, was laid to rest in the land of the dead, and was then revived at the winter solstice. And the name they gave to the last day of their year, when the sun ended its 1-year lifespan and died, was Samhain, and they celebrated then.
It's an interesting idea to think that the sun is revived on the day of the winter solstice, when the daylight hours start to go longer again.
You know, I know we've been talking about how they're weird because they're rich and they're like out of touch, but really, like, none of them are being like, why does Maria know this?
I'm with it. I mean, like, the more I think about it, Maria's just into, like, Harry Potter before Harry Potter, right?
But like, I'm like, this is the 80s. Where did she get this information from?
Book.
The internet doesn't exist yet. Okay, that's, I mean, I guess they are rich, but like,
Many books.
if Rosa doesn't like her indulging this, would she be purchasing?
Theft.
Okay.
Library.
Oh, true.
Etc.
That's ignorant of me to not assume that they have libraries.
Toshokan, even.
All right, continuing on.
It's a case that makes it clear how much the ancients regarded the sun as sacred. That's true. I don't know if there's a single society that didn't somehow revere the sun.
Yep.
Like
I
ancient
see.
society.
So what does that have to do with witches? Sorry, I was making the same face Maria was. It seemed that my casual urging forward had slightly infuriated Maria. She glared at me with eyes that told me to shut up, while she explained.
I also just learned, this is just coming to me now from the office, that holiday, Samhain, I don't think it's going to come up again. I've just learned it's pronounced Samhain.
Oh, well, it is Celtic, so that makes sense. That
Yeah.
It's got
Goofy pronunciation. But anyway.
I was thinking about that when I said it. I was like, I'm sure that's probably not right, but I'm not going to
That's
say
what I was
anything.
thinking too. I was like, I'm gonna look it up because I'm curious. Like I said, I don't think it's gonna come up again, but just in case,
But
so no one gets
also-
mad at us.
I feel like maybe Maria would have said it wrong. Anyways.
She may have.
Maria seemed to be having a blast as she talked, so I decided not to interrupt. Even though you just interrupted, you stupid... No, sorry.
In the interval between October and November, life and death become the closest they ever will. The Celts believed that during this time, the world of the living grew closer to the world of the dead and otherworldly beings. And many of those living in the other world would come visit us. It was like the Bon Festival in Japan.
I'm on it because I'm actually not familiar with that.
At the time, people believed that souls returning to the physical world would go into people's houses or possess people and do bad things. So, in order to avoid harm, they performed rituals. One of those was to imitate creepy monsters and scare the souls back, which was apparently a way to avoid being possessed.
That part became a festival, which turned into a costume parade. You really know a lot, don't you, Maria?
Ain't it the truth? I'm here now too. Even I never knew Halloween had such a history.
But where did that whole trick-or-treat thing come from? Here we go. Did we have this last time, or am I crazy?
No, we did not have this whole Halloween bit in episode 1.
Okay, I've just rewatched and reread this so many times that, like, my brain can't keep up. Yeah, I can't. Oh.
Her knowledge was so extensive that the adults had suddenly started listening in too. Okay, that they explained why they're suddenly here. I'm sorry, I'll stop. Maria, who was normally treated like the youngest all the time, puffed out her chest with pride. Saying that this was just a kid's discussion, Rosa suggested that the adults go on ahead and set their luggage down in the guest house. But nobody else agreed to go with her, and she let out a heavy sigh.
Oh, trick or treat is just for fun. It has nothing to do with what was originally a Celtic ceremony. That was created later when Christian customs were mixed in. However, I think it's right for Halloween to be that way.
According to Maria, the souls of the dead weren't the only ones who visited from the non-human world. There were also spirits with intimate connections to people's everyday lives. Humans could receive favors from those spirits, so they'd manage to gain magnificent blessings, as well as a year's worth of good crops.
So basically, Halloween was also a bit of a harvest festival?
I get it. Now that you mention it, I guess October's a turning point in all kinds of ways, including with the seasons. Sort of the opposite of April in Japan.
Dang.
Yeah, that might be a good place to mark it.
Only in Japan.
Oh. Sorry, let me collect myself.
Oh, and also, the witches hold a witch assembly then, called a Sabbath.
What do you mean by that?
The witches thank the spirits that give out blessings of prosperity and reward them.
Halloween costumes imitate the guests that come from the other side. In other words, you might say giving out candy is a way to show gratitude for the yearly harvest.
Oh, just like George Oni-chan says.
Oh, that's real, by the way, the witch's Sabbath thing.
I did not know that.
Yep.
So Halloween is a time when those two worlds intermingle? In other words, it's the most important chance for witches to intermingle with guests from that world. Man, I am now beginning to understand why they have set up this entire expositional bit.
Some of this lore and history I'm Googling is like deep cuts. Like it says that the witch's Sabbath thing did not come from the most infamous and influential work called Malleus Maleficarum. It actually came from Vincent LeBlanc's book, The World Surveyed.
Dang.
So, in case you were curious, which Vincent LeBlanc doesn't even have a Wikipedia entry. But yeah.
Oh, we're
There's a
getting
lot
deep
going on
into
here.
occult lore with Umineko today.
Yeah. Also, the Oban Festival from before, that's just like the Japanese version of Dia de los Muertos.
Oh.
Because it's just like honoring the dead family stuff, but it's in like July.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just like Badler says.
I'm the Googler for this series. That's my job. I Google.
I'm the Woogler.
True. And I'm the Oogler.
No, that's Badler.
Yeah, true.
And you know what? You know what?
Huh.
Shut up.
October is when the power of witches and demons is at its most vigorous and prosperous.
Dang.
Yee! I'm sure Beatrice will come. And then we'll eat marshmallow candies together, and she'll bring me to the Golden Land with her. We'll sing magical songs together, learn magic spells together, learn how to draw magic circles together.
Wow.
And then we'll learn the secrets of runes, and I'll become a great witch really, really quickly.
Scared me. Or just stopped there for a minute. My, isn't that wonderful? It's best for kids to have dreams. By the way, Rosa, how old will Maria be this year again? Maria, that's enough of that.
Don't worry about it, Rosa-san. It's a dream all girls have at one time or another.
Thank you very much. But Maria has already graduated from that age. Hey, I'm telling you to stop.
Rosa scolded Maria, trying to shut her up before her cheery discussion about black magic earned her the snickers of the relatives.
They have Snickers?
Uh-oh? That sounds pretty detailed and impressive. By the way, who was Beatrice again?
Oh boy.
I know I've heard that name somewhere before. Battler had been gone for 6 years, and had completely forgotten about the legend of the Rokenjima witch. Yeah, we reset everything. Yeah. However, when he said he didn't know Beatrice's name, Maria's once bright mood soured in an instant.
Meow.
When he saw that, Battler immediately remembered that it was the name of the witch of this island, but the damage had been done.
Uh-oh.
Until Maria's mood improved, she went on and on about how many mysterious and fabulous episodes regarding the Golden Witch. Just about.
Yeah. Oh. That's enough, Maria. Thank you, Battler-kun, for letting her chat with you. Canon-kun, don't you have work to do?
Is that a new sprite?
Sprite? Maybe. She's definitely got like the
She's
weird
got a little
eyes.
bit of a twitch eye going on there.
Yeah. Is that the one I used in the thumbnail? I can't remember. I don't think so. The one I used in the thumbnail is more angry. Never mind. Please, leave now. Koro-san, it looks like everyone wants to set down their bags for the time being. Sorry, but could you guide everyone to the guest house?
Certainly. Well then, everyone, allow me to guide you.
Then, if you will excuse me.
Gora led the relatives, and they began to head towards the guest house. They were eager to set down their luggage and take a breather, so they didn't realize that Rosa and Maria weren't coming with them.
Uh-oh. What's gonna happen again?
Here we go again.
Uh-oh.
After watching them leave towards the guest house, Rosa's face changed suddenly. She let go with the hand that had been gripping Maria this whole time. There was a bright red mark there, making it clear how much excessive force she had been using on Maria's slender arm. That hand then slapped against Maria's head, pinched her left ear, and lifted.
Even though I'm always telling you not to talk about witches, haven't I always said that was our promise together?
Mama, ouch! Mama, ouch! Ouch, ouch, ouch!
Ew. You really do like blabbering on about Halloween all the time, don't you? A festival for witches? Who cares about the Celts, black magic, and all that idiotic trash? You were 9 years old. 9! Because of that scene you made in the train, I went to all the trouble of making a stop and buying you those disgusting monster marshmallows that look like they have fluorescent paint on them. I went out of my way to buy it, even though it made us late. How much more will you embarrass me before you're satisfied?
As Rosa cursed, she twisted Maria's ear up, almost as though she was about to tear it off. An expression of anguish spread across Maria's face while she frantically stood on her tiptoes, trying to soften the pain in that ear. Rosa suddenly grabbed the candy that Maria had been holding.
No, not the candy. No!
She threw it on the ground and stepped on it over and over. To Maria, it was supposed to be proof of a memory, of a brief span of time when her mother had bought something fun for her. But now that same mother was grinding it into the ground right in front of her. It was as though a brand had been pushed into Maria's eyes, leaving a mark that could never be erased.
What's the deal with this disgusting candy? Disgusting! Disgusting! It's because you're like that! It's all because you're like that! Disgusting! Disgusting! Disgusting!
As she said that, she struck Maria's head over and over again with her palm. Well, that's better than slapping her across the face, I guess. She didn't hit Maria's face, because the red swelling would stand out. Maria closed her eyes tightly, patiently bearing her mother's violence. No, that wasn't quite it.
Come back, Mama! Come back, Mama! Save me! Save me, Mama! Defeat the bad witch!
She kept bearing Rosa's assault, muttering that over and over.
Didn't I tell you to stop talking about witches? Why, you...
Rosa, tired from hitting her daughter, dang, breathed so hard her shoulders shook. Poor Rosa, so tired.
I know, it's tiring.
Maria grasped her hands together, withstanding it, hoping her mother would return soon.
Mama! Mama! Come back quickly! Save me, Mama! Beat the bad witch!
Fine, just stay there like that forever. Just stand there mumbling about witches and Halloween forever.
After hurling those words at Maria, Rosa left in the direction of the guest house, leaving Maria behind. This is exactly what happened last time, but through a completely different route.
Yeah.
Instead of the rose, it's the candy.
Yeah.
Maria, forgetting even that it was okay to cry, kept staring down at the jack-o'-lantern candy that had been trampled beyond recognition.
That's so sad. Not the candy.
Poor Maria, man. For how twisted in the head she is, it's very obvious why.
That's what I love about this part in particular, the juxtaposition, because episode 1 has you being like, man, I hate this Maria kid, and then not long in episode 2, you're like, I feel so bad for her. Mm-hmm. Oh, Rosa, where were you? I'm sorry. The roses were so wonderful, Rosa, set your luggage down quickly and come with us. We're gonna go say hi to Aniki.
What happened to Maria-chan? Is she still by the flower beds?
Yes. It seems she found a rose she likes and insisted that she'd take care of it, refusing to listen. I decided to let her do what she wants for a while.
We sometimes forget that girls have their own little world. Sometimes we have to respect that, right?
That's right. Thanks for your concern, Kirine-san.
Thanks for trying.
Yeah. Goda-san, where is our room?
I will guide you. This way. Allow me to hold your luggage.
I'll be fine. I can carry it myself, thank you. Oh.
We're looking around. Okay.
Womp.
Rosa went into her room, guided by Goda. She then closed the door somewhat violently and threw her luggage on top of the bed.
Oh.
Now are we having a pity party? Are you going to feel bad for yourself? For beating
She
your child?
Nuh-uh. She wouldn't do that.
She got down on her knees in
Again.
front of the bed, burying her face in it.
No
For a
pillows.
while, Rosa made as if to shred the sheets with her fingernails, sobbing constantly.
No monologue. You just kind of gotta assume what she's doing, which I think you were on the head. But anyway. Maria-sama, are you all right?
Canon appeared from behind a thicket after watching Rosa leave. I don't think we've ever had a Canon Maria interaction before.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Maria gave a creepy laugh, but to Canon, who had seen the whole thing, it looked like she was enduring as best she could. Exactly, it's a giant coping mechanism.
Kinda seems like it, doesn't it? She's a horrible person. I can't believe she's a mother.
It can't be helped.
Dang.
You can't expect anything better than that to enter a container of that level. I'm just fine.
Canon got down on his knees and picked up the trampled candy. It was tragic looking at it. He thought about dusting it off and returning it to her, but really he couldn't do so with it in that condition. Just as he was wondering what to do, he met Maria's gaze. No, that wasn't quite right. Maria was looking at the candy that Canon had picked up. Right now, Maria's heart was surely the same as the candy that had been trampled into a pulp. Canon realized this, but didn't know what he should do.
That's right. I'll exchange it for the one I received earlier.
Canon remembered that a similar candy he'd received from Maria was in his pocket. Maria stuck out her hand. Canon thought she was trying to take it, so he held out the candy, but Maria didn't try to grasp it. Then Canon realized. She was saying, "Give it back." No matter how tragic and trampled it was, this candy was Maria's. Her mother had bought it for her. No matter how tragic, it had to be this candy, and no other. If only it were intact enough that it could be fixed by dusting it off. Canon hung his head.
Dusting it off is the most I can do. I'm sorry.
Canon held out the miserable-looking candy that Maria wanted. She took it and spoke.
Thank you. A human can't do anything except dust it off, but a witch could restore it to how it once was. It would be easy for Beatrice.
Maria-sama, you know about Beatrice-sama?
Except for Badler, there was no way anyone related to the Ushiromiya family could have failed to know Beatrice's name. But just now, Maria had bragged about Beatrice to Badler. She had spoken almost as though she was meeting with Beatrice, regularly. Canon felt a sharp pain inside his left hand, which was curled into a fist.
Ooh, with the, remember?
The burn?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the past, a witch called Beatrice had appeared to tempt him and Shannon.
We were there.
He'd always tried to think of it as a bad dream. However, Shannon insisted that it definitely was a real witch. And then, this summer, the shrine to the local Shinto god was hit by lightning, disappearing without a trace over the span of a single night. He knew about Shannon breaking that mirror, and he remembered that, as the witch departed, she said she'd eventually be revived. And now, this girl, who believed absolutely in Beatrice, spoke as though she'd met Beatrice herself. Canon couldn't suppress a vague sense of foreboding welling up in his heart. For a while,
Scared
Maria
me.
remained silent, as though she could see into Canon's heart. I feel like
That's
she
how
could see
it
into
felt.
my heart.
Yeah, that's...
Almost as though she was waiting for a memory of Beatrice to be revived. And then she spoke, as though it was a fact.
You know, I'm friends with Beatrice. I'm even gonna meet her today and play.
You're going to play?
Yeah, of course we'll play. We're gonna study magic together.
We fading out again. Oh,
The face of that witch, whom Canon had tried to pretend was a bad dream, began to slowly creep into the back of his mind.
it's just so sad. Like, the creepy forebodingness aside, I just feel so bad for Maria and the dang candy.
Yeah.
Like Rosa bought that for her, and then she goes into something like that. Oh.
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Yep. I don't know what he's doing over there.
Milk.
Bro, you
Sorry.
can't be saying these
I was
things.
finishing off my bowl.
Oh, okay.
What did you think I meant
I
by
mean,
milk?
look who's on the screen right now.
True.
And you can see
Mommy! Sorry.
The father says he's extremely busy with his research. Unfortunately, it seems he'll be unable to come down.
Look, it's just like it's the other half of before. Because remember, like, you know?
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
Come on. Wait, are we going to have to go through the whole negotiation again?
But it's slightly different this time.
It's slightly different. Okay. We put this conference in our schedules and come all the way out to Rokinjima during this crazy busy fall season. You'd think Dad could at least be a bit more sociable. Yeah, seriously. Dr. Nanjo, is it really his research and his mood that are the problem? He isn't already bedridden, unable to get up, right?
Well, I wonder. There is not much I can say. Nanjo glanced at Natsuhi. It seemed though it wasn't his place to speak without first getting approval, or without first getting Natsuhi's approval.
Father's state of health is better than ever. It would be exceedingly rude to call him bedridden.
But he only has 3 months left to live, right? Normally, wouldn't you expect him to be wasted away, unable to get out of bed? Isn't that right, Dr. Nanjo?
For a normal patient, that would probably be the case. But Kinzo-san has extraordinary willpower. Perhaps that willpower has frightened even the Reaper away. I would bet on it.
I just be thinking of that one video of the POV year at the Ushiromiya family conference.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fear the Reacher!
Well, if he's that energetic, then I guess we have a little. Then I guess we have little to worry about for the near future, right?
Though, if he's got that much spunk, I wish he'd at least come to greet us. Isn't the whole point of this family conference to come and see Dad's face? I'm not even sure why we came now.
Don't say that. If he were here, you'd complain the whole time about being unable to relax. Shouldn't we celebrate the fact that all of us siblings have gathered this year to spend some time alone?
We didn't get to see him at last year's family conference either, right? Can't you understand why his blood children might want to see him after 2 years?
If there's anything you'd like to say in greeting, I will tell him for you. Or, Eva-san, is there something you'd like to discuss with Father beyond merely greeting him?
Come on, what are you talking about? Sheesh.
Give it a rest, Ava. Nazi-san, forgive us. Ava's just worried about Father's condition, as his daughter. Please try and understand how she feels. Indeed. Look how quickly you've grown to respect Father, now that you know how much longer he has to live. Yes, I believe I do understand why you want to see him so much.
What are you trying to say? Quit it, Anaki. Why don't we pray that his mood will improve by dinner? Anyway, we've only just arrived. For now, we're only here for a casual greeting. And we could even hold the family conference without Dad. In fact, there's a few things we siblings couldn't bring to him until we formed a unified opinion. Isn't that right, Hideyoshi-ni-san?
Yep. Just as Rudolph-kun says. This is the only time of the year we can all meet in person. We gotta take this valuable time seriously and be frank with each other.
Ew.
Turns into Danny DeVito. Even though the tea had... Oh, wait, I'm fine.
Hideyoshi, how did you get here?
I like you two fellers. I want to narrate with you.
Oh, gosh.
Even though the tea hadn't yet arrived, they were very determined.
I would want to spend my time with Hideyoshi. I think out of
Hideyoshi
everyone.
would be the one adult I'd be
He'd
like,
be
yeah.
so goated.
Yeah.
But before that, perhaps we can spare the time to enjoy some black tea at our leisure, surrounded by the wonderful furnishings of the parlor.
Kyrie's words seemed to contain a subtle admonition directed at everyone gathered there. They all understood, and as they cleared their throats and straightened their neckties, the atmosphere in the room returned to normal, for a time.
She has that power. That's crazy. Uh-oh. Please don't screw it up again. I worry for her. Excuse me. I've brought some tea. Bro, it's like 2 weeks later and still zero issue. I think something for real clicked.
You're changed forever, man.
I guess.
There's no going back. What's done is done.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Shannon-chan. You just keep getting prettier and prettier. Shannon entered the parlor, pushing the serving cart.
Oh,
Oh.
boy. Oh?
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I was like, are we ending the scene there?
Yeah, I thought we were cutting away.
Everyone decided to relax and enjoy some black tea for the time being. A wonderful aroma began to spread throughout the room.
Whoa.
As far as anyone could see, the strained atmosphere from before Shannon's arrival seemed like a lie. Of course, Shannon, who was setting out the tea, probably didn't even notice. Kyrie seemed to laugh faintly at how adult everyone was suddenly acting. Rudolph didn't like it when Kyrie took the initiative and spoke at the family conference. It was his worthless male pride.
Dang.
He probably didn't want to look like a weak man who took advice from his wife. She understood that and did her best to refrain from saying any more than was necessary. So, she separated herself from the circle of siblings, who only superficially appeared to be enjoying some time alone together, and casually drank her tea near the window.
Oh, Rosa-san. I thought you siblings were enjoying some alone time.
You must be joking.
Sorry, don't take it the wrong way. I'm just a little exasperated by my husband.
Apparently, Rosa hadn't been able to keep up with that on-the-surface friendliness. They'd come here to fight bloodily and dirtily, each trying to grab a part of the inheritance for themselves. She probably didn't like suddenly pretending that they were all chummy. Or maybe she was still too immature for that.
It looks like the wind started blowing hard out there. The plants are all shaking so much.
The typhoon's probably gotten pretty close already. I wonder if we'll see a lot of rain tonight.
Maria-chan really has grown a lot this past year.
Does it look that way? She still can't even fold her own clothing yet.
No, it's true. It's because she has such an affectionate mother. She'll grow into a girl with a rich heart.
Rosa fell silent. Maybe she was unsure as to what Kyrie meant by that. What did she mean by this?
Yeah. I'm a failure as a mother. Whoa! Saying it to other people. Children don't get to choose their parents. That poor girl.
Doesn't that go both ways?
Do not take her side.
A parent can't choose what kind of child they have either. I'm not sure if she is taking her side.
Okay, well.
Rosa bit her lower lip.
This isn't a matter of assigning blame. Isn't it enough that you take your time and watch over her as she grows, conscious of the fact that you'll be living together? You spend every day with Maria-chan, so you probably don't notice the small changes. But the rest of us, who haven't seen her for a year, can see clearly how much she's grown.
If you really mean that, thank you very much. Then, if you will excuse me, if there is anything you desire, please call for it at any time. She didn't screw up! Let's go! That's my girl!
Shannon bowed politely and left the room.
That's different from last year.
Mm-hmm.
Or not last year, last time. Same year.
As Hideyoshi and Rudolph, who had a soft spot for women, me too,
Hideyoshi?
watched her go,
Hidebroshi?
the atmosphere in the room began to revert back to what it had been right before Shannon's visit. Okay, they were playing it up
Completely,
for
yeah.
the young woman.
If Father can't come down, well, that does still leave us with certain things we can discuss. Right, Rudolphu? Yep, that's right. We didn't come all the way out here just to drink some dusty tea, right? Why is your tea dusty? Maybe she did screw up.
It's the what did George point out was in it last time? The
Oleander?
a fruit of some kind.
Oh, you're right. I can't remember.
Very well. What is this matter that you're clearly so eager to discuss?
Money.
Yeah. My. Those people really are determined. They've certainly got started quick.
I need to join in too. If I don't assert myself, those people will quickly forget that there are 4 siblings.
Sounds like you've got it pretty tough yourself. Maybe I spoke too harshly. Forgive me.
No, I don't mind. I'm the one who should be apologizing. As a pair of mothers with daughters, we should talk more often.
I always forget that Badler has a sister.
Has a sister. I know. She's sick. Every single time we meet, we end up talking about something shady.
You can blame the atmosphere in this mansion for that. Once you breathe in this air, everyone gets so strained. Just once, I'd like to have a
nice long cup of tea with you.
when we aren't attending a family conference. There's a wonderful coffee shop in Ginza that's a favorite of mine. Please, let me invite you sometime soon.
Thank you, Kirie-san. That sounds great.
Oh no. The sky's gotten dark pretty fast. I could almost believe the people in this room made the weather worse. There's already thunder. Oh? Was that one there?
Huh?
There really were small splashes of rain on the glass of the parlor window. The weather seemed to have worsened faster than expected. And guess who's in the rain again?
Me!
Because Mom said stay here forever. Just then, a silent thunderbolt struck inside Rosa's head as she remembered that her beloved child was out in the rose garden.
But this is a little different timing than before.
True, it's right when it started instead of her leaving her out there.
Yeah, because before, this happened at the dinner. Like, they had this little powwow and got mad at each other, then broke for lunch, and then she went out.
And then
this was in the
Rosa
middle
was
of the
like,
powwow.
"My baby!"
Yeah, because normally Maria went to the room with the
Room with
cousins.
the cousins, yep.
So we're kind of all fractured right now.
Yep. It's similar, but not quite the same.
Mm-hmm.
A normal girl would try to go inside if the weather got bad, but Maria was not a normal girl. She would sometimes get stubborn and refuse to move if rain or even spears fell from the sky. That happens. That's an
Holy
occurrence
moly,
in Japan.
spears fell from the sky?
That. I think this is Rosa.
That's right. I told that child to just stay there doing that forever, didn't I?
Oops. Oh no! Maria!
Everyone looked back at Rosa when she let out a small scream. What? What is it?
I'm sorry. I'm going outside for a second. I'll be right back. What the? Seriously, what's going on with her?
Don't worry, she'll be back soon. More importantly, shouldn't we begin?
our main topic.
That's right. We can keep talking about this, or about that without Rosa. Let's return to our discussion.
Rosa dashed from the entrance hall into the rose garden.
Oh man, she slammed that thing.
Yeah. When she opened the door, the wind that hit her was too strong to be called a light breeze, and told her that the typhoon was approaching faster than she'd thought. Just as Kyria had said, the wind was mixed in with small droplets of rain. There was also a low rumble of thunder. It could start raining any time. Rosa headed for the rose garden. She headed for the place where she had scolded Maria a short while ago. It was almost lunchtime. The children had been told to come to the mansion around lunchtime. So they were probably in the guest house waiting to be called. Even if Maria didn't come to them, they would surely think I took her to the mansion with me and wouldn't worry much. After all, she had been with her mother, so there should have been no reason to worry. I was here, and I abandoned my daughter to the worsening weather.
Yeah. Maria! Are you there? If you're there, answer me!
Oh!
I was right. She was still standing stock still, exactly the same way she had been in the place where I had scolded her. Held in her hand was the candy that I'd bought, given her, and then stepped on and crushed. With that gripped in her hand, she stood there as the powerful winds whipped her hair about, tormenting her.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry, Maria. Forgive Mama.
Oh! Mama, welcome back. I waited a long time for you to come back. The scary witch pinched me, but I stayed strong, waiting for Mama to come back without crying.
Maria, forgive your Mama. Forgive your Mama.
You didn't do anything wrong. You were just possessed by a bad witch again. So I'm fine. I really like you, Mama. I love you.
Ah! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive your Mama for losing to the bad witch.
Rosa buried her face in Maria's small chest, crying and begging forgiveness. And once again those tears dripped down after who knows how many times. If only the brilliant sun had been shining on the two of them. All of their cares would have evaporated, and it might have felt like they could begin anew. However, what surrounded the two of them was the worsening weather. Sadly, there were only fierce winds with occasional thunder. The sound of Maria sniffling brought Rosa to her senses. If Maria stood exposed to the wind for too long, she'd probably catch a cold.
Okay, Maria. It's almost time for lunch. Why don't you come back to the mansion with me?
No, won't go.
Why not?
Rosa thought she'd already received Maria's forgiveness, so she hadn't imagined Maria would refuse. But that expression on Maria's face didn't look like that of a child resisting her mother. So Rosa couldn't understand why Maria wanted to stand still, pointlessly, as the weather grew even worse. Maria answered that question.
It's Beatrice. She'll be here really soon, so I'm waiting.
Maria.
Rosa struggled to find words for a moment, and then fell silent. They'd only just managed to make up, after all. She chose her words carefully, trying to get Maria to come with her to go to the mansion without denying the witch outright.
Beatrice is coming?
Oh,
Really? Then instead of waiting here, why don't we wait in the mansion? If you stay in this wind too long, you'll catch a cold.
she'll come. Beatrice will come. And when she does, I'll give her candy. I'll do trick or treat. I'll give her a jack-o'-lantern marshmallow candy and say, Happy Halloween. Ooh.
Maria pulled yet another sweet out of her handbag, moaning, ooh, ooh. Rosa was bewildered. and didn't know what to do, as Maria started being difficult again. At that time, there was a sudden blast of thunder. It was probably a sign that this island had been sealed off by the storm, detached from common sense and reality. So after this moment, all common sense would probably cease to apply. The wind blew even stronger, and amidst that blizzard of scattered rose petals, a figure appeared, leaving Rosa unable to imagine that this was a scene from reality. It was probably, no, definitely, fantastical. After all, that shadow of a person was...
Hi.
Beatrice!
Golden Sneer!
Maria dashed over to the shadow. Normally, Rosa would scold her daughter if she dashed over to someone whom she hadn't seen before and didn't know. But Rosa forgot to do that, was unable to do anything, but stand there, stunned.
It's been quite some time. Have you been well?
Ooh, I've been well. Witches don't catch colds. Ooh.
Indeed, a witch can use curses to make people catch colds. But how foolish would it be if she caught one herself? From now on, you should take care not to catch something like a cold yourself.
She patted Maria's head as she said this, smiling roguishly. Rosa couldn't have known the name of the woman who was happily spoiling Maria. However, Maria had called it out in the beginning, when the woman appeared. So even though Rosa had never met her, even though the woman still hadn't introduced herself, Rosa was able to know her name. However, that name had a special meaning on Rokkenjima and in the Ushiromiya family. There's no way something that stupid could be...
Beatrice! Happy Halloween! Look at what we bought. I'll give you one too, Beatrice. Ooh.
Indeed, happy Halloween. Oh, is this for me? How truly adorable that a candy would be made out of this, the lonely light of a man lost in the darkness of purgatory, unable to go to heaven or hell. Right now, on this island that has been cut off both from the world of humans and the world of non-humans, there may be no more suitable sweet. Maria, what's wrong with that one?
Looks fine to me. The witch noticed the sweet Maria was grasping. It was Maria's candy, which had been stomped on by Rosa until it reached this pitiful state.
Oh, got stepped on and smashed. Can you fix it, Beato?
Maria didn't go so far as to say that it was her mother who'd stepped on it. However, for some reason, when the witch saw that candy, she looked at Rosa and grinned. A chill went down Rosa's spine, as though this gaze was staring straight through her.
It shall be easy. Give it to me.
Ooh.
Maria held the candy out gleefully. Rosa could do nothing but watch, stunned. How did this person plan to trick Maria, somehow undoing the fact that the candy had been pitifully trampled? Maria looked as though she believed it could be fixed good as new. Without real magic, there was no way such a thing could be possible.
My, it is quite crushed, isn't it? Come, Maria. Close your eyes and try to remember. Because it really was that wonderful a candy. The candy of your memories is always full and fluffy. So you try to remember as well. What kind of candy was it really?
Along with those strange words, spoken as though singing an improvised folk song, the witch threw the sweet into the air. Yeah, why didn't you sing? Why didn't you sing it? No, I'm kidding.
I don't know folk. I only know jazz.
Maria was closing her eyes and remembering just as the witch had told her to. What shape had that crushed candy really had? Therefore, only Rosa saw that scene. The sweet that had been thrown into the air burst into a gold color. No, that wasn't it. Those were golden butterflies. It scattered into several golden butterflies, and they began to gather at the witch's hand, which was held up to the sky. And as she did this, unbelievably, all the lights are off in my room, so that blinded me. That's why I made that noise.
I thought you were just Rosa.
No. It returned to its beautiful original form, no different from when it had been bought. Only Rosa and the witch witnessed that scene. I feel like this is going to be important somehow later. Unable to comprehend what was occurring right before her eyes, Rosa stood with her mouth hanging open, completely forgetting to shut it.
You may now open your eyes. Take it. With this, your sweet has returned to normal.
Oh, Beatrice is always incredible. Incredible!
Oh,
There was a stark contrast between Rosa's shock and Maria's innocent joy. What was the witch laughing at? Wait, okay. Was that what the witch was laughing at? A smile floated to Beatrice's face, one different from the smile she'd shown Maria.
does my face seem familiar? If you stare so fixedly, you might burn a hole through it. I'm sorry.
Those words triggered something very clearly in Rosa's mind. Rosa knew this face. She knew it from the portrait of the witch. But, no, wait. Could this mystery woman really be?
Maria, I give you this in exchange for the sweet you gave me.
Oh? A letter?
Take on me?
The witch pulled a western envelope from her pocket and gave it to Maria. However, when Maria made to open it, the witch stopped her.
You must not. The time will soon come for you to open it, but until then you absolutely must not. Take good care of it. That will be your invitation to the Golden Land.
The Golden Land! So you'll finally take me there!
Take it and treat it with care. You must not show it to anyone.
Oh, I'll keep that promise. You've always got to keep promises with witches.
And this is for you. Huh? Me?
She probably hadn't imagined that the witch would speak to her, too. Rosa was bewildered by the second western envelope, which was thrust before her. She'd seen this type of envelope before. There could be no mistake. It was one of Kenzo's special envelopes, used when he wrote with his own hand and bearing the Ushiromiya family crest. It was sealed with red sealing wax. And furthermore, it had a mark that seemed to have been made by the head's ring. In other words, even without asking what was inside this letter, Rosa knew that this woman, whom Maria called Beatrice, was trusted enough to be placed in charge of a personal letter of the oh my gosh, wait, bleh, my brain, I don't know why
You were
I'm
so
stumbling.
close.
I
You were
know,
almost
I was
there.
right there. I don't know why I'm stumbling so much. Okay. Rosa knew that this woman, whom Maria called Beatrice, was trusted enough to be placed in charge of a personal letter of the current Ushiromiya head.
It could have been any of the 4 siblings. However, the fact that I have met you here probably means that you were chosen by Kinzo's roulette. So take it. Then read its contents aloud while seated at the dinner table when all of the siblings are gathered. What did you say?
Rosa looked back and forth several times between the witch's face and the envelope that had been handed to her. Today was the family conference, and the biggest object of discussion would be the inheritance problem. So, she had joined together with Ava and Rudolph, and they planned to force a certain condition on Kraus to try and extort several 100 million yen in cash out of him. It was as if the witch could see through all of that. What does she intend to announce when all of us siblings are gathered? And with a personal envelope that no one but the Ushiromiya head can use.
Maria, the weather is getting worse. Return to the guest house and wait for lunchtime. And Rosa, we will meet again later. Allow me to introduce myself again at that time. Yeah. Wow.
The witch turned her back to her, laughing. Then she began to head towards the mansion with an air of composure. Maria energetically called out and watched her go, then began to dash towards the guest house, leaving Rosa behind. As though she wanted to inform the other cousins of her fortunate meeting with the witch as soon as she could. At last, Rosa was left alone in the rose garden as the winds grew stronger, unable to do anything but pray that what had happened was just a daydream.
Wow. She got a new outfit.
Yeah. A uniform.
Yeah. But she has it like untucked.
Yeah.
Oh.
When the witch reached the entrance hall, Genji could be seen there. Genji welcomed the guest approaching from the entrance hall with a respectful bow. I have been waiting. Beatrice-sama.
Ooh, we got a
jingle.
tips.
Yeah.
Yeah, tips. I'm assuming it's just new Beatrice.
Yeah, looks it.
New Beatrice, who this?
Dang,
Look
she
at the
got
thigh
crest.
tat.
Yeah, she got the thigh tat. Dang.
Those boots kind of uggy, but the socks I like.
Well, you don't like the strapped boots.
I don't like the one tone, no nothing to them, just black boots.
Yeah. She was ushered into the VIP room, which no one has been allowed to use in the past. Spoilers.
Ooh. It's been quite some time, Genji. You've gotten old.
No matter how old it becomes, furniture carries out its work like furniture until the end.
I remember how that man's wife used to be jealous of you. Is Kinzo doing well?
He is doing extremely well. The witch probably laughed because she knew Kinzo's own doctor had announced that Kinzo didn't have long to live. However, if anyone actually looked at Kinzo and noticed his vigor, which wasn't at all what you'd expect from someone nearing the end of his life, they might easily call that doing extremely well. Maybe that's what the witch was laughing at.
Then let us go and greet him. I look forward to hurling curses at each other after 30 years.
He's gonna have a heart attack and die.
I was gonna say, so it's like that, huh?
As the witch grinned, she started walking, leaving Genji behind. Her gait was like that of a family member who knew the inside of the mansion well. Genji followed her in the manner of one who served her. At that time, Kyrie came out of the parlor. She'd probably gone out to fix her makeup or something. And when she saw Genji following a witch, she was surprised, although her expression did not change. A guest for Kinzo had arrived, despite him being almost dead, on the day of the family conference when the fate of the inheritance was to be decided. And furthermore, this person was familiar enough with the Ushiromiya family household that Genji was following behind her. Kyrie immediately realized that this person she had never met before was deeply important. Kyrie and the witch's eyes met. Realizing that it would be rude to pretend not to notice, she greeted the witch.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
You are Rudolph's second wife, yes?
Correct. This is Kirie-sama, Rudolph-sama's current wife.
Current.
From this exchange, Kyrie realized that this was a guest of fairly high rank, even amidst the Ushiromiya family. And the fact that this was a guest on that level, coupled with her resemblance to the portrait in the entrance hall, made Kyrie's eyes instantly open wide. Hey, look at that.
Nope.
Damn.
Just like that.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Kyrie. I wonder if this is our first meeting. If we have met before, I apologize for forgetting your name.
So, you intend to force me to state my name, even though you already have a vague idea of the answer?
Ever the detective. Kyrie thought she'd given a sociable and humble greeting. Her expressions grew slightly cloudy at that openly oppressive response. At any rate, this didn't seem to be a person she could grow to like.
Huh.
But if Kyrie's guesses were correct, this witch probably held a vital key to what her own husband was most interested in. Something that couldn't help but influence tonight's family conference. So without shooting back a retort, Kyrie silently watched her go up the stairs to the second floor, with Genji following behind.
Bye. Whoa.
So when someone tapped her shoulder from behind, she was so surprised she almost choked. It was Natsuhi.
Kyrie-san, why are you standing still in a place like this? Are you not feeling well? I'm sorry. I was just fascinated by the portrait of the witch for a bit. Oh, you mean the Golden Witch, Beatrice. The one whose gold was supposedly necessary for the revived Ushiromiya family we see today. Quite a fantastical story. Just what one might expect from father.
Natsuhi spoke in a perfectly ordinary way. It was the sort of comment you'd expect from someone convinced that the thought of a witch existing was ridiculous, no more than another of Genzo's ramblings. However, for some reason, that point of view didn't seem quite right to Kyrie now. Just a moment ago, she herself had seen the Golden Witch come in from the entrance hall and climb up the stairs. So, Natsuhi's words made it feel as though someone was trying to deny the existence of that person, or else make it seem like she was never there to begin with. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm getting a bit of a headache. I think I'll rest for a little while. Oh, is that so? Then I have some good headache medicine. I'll get it for you.
They both got headaches now.
Doesn't Kyrie mean like mercy in Latin?
Maybe.
I don't know why I was just thinking of that for some reason. The hallway in front of Kinzo's study was filled with the scent of sweet poison, peculiar to that green liquor.
There it goes again with the sickly sweet and all that. Also, it means Lord have mercy.
Ah, I thought the full phrase was Kyrie eleison, for Lord have mercy.
Oh, you're right. So yeah, must just be one of those.
Because it's the Catholics use it in Mass. So I don't know why I thought of that, but anyways.
It makes me think of, there's an old anime, Elfen Lied.
Mm-hmm.
The opening theme has the word Kyrie, and I'd have to look it up. Not that it matters now, but...
I want to say that Latin does the thing where, like, they switch around the words, so mercy is at the beginning. But I'm not 100% sure. Anyways.
Well, it looks like Kyrie is Lord.
even weirder, honestly. Genji, who was completely used to it, did not grimace. And the Golden Witch didn't grimace either. Oh, I didn't actually think they were going to show us this scene. Are they going to actually show us Kenzo and Beatrice interacting?
How long has he been in there since last he left?
I believe it has already been several years.
Is he that desperate to turn me into a bird in a cage? How pitiful. By now you're the bird in a cage. You're the ghost of this study, are you not? How pitiful that he is unable to recognize even that.
Until he meets you again, he will probably continue his research, even after literally becoming a ghost.
Is it love, or madness, or a delusion? And yet, perhaps even those can form magical power when strong enough. You sad magician.
The witch grasped the doorknob to the study.
Skeleton, or scorpion.
Skeleton! When she did, there was a sound like that of flesh burning and splitting open. It did sound like that. It was pretty gross, but it was overshadowed by skeleton.
Skeleton!
It was the sound of the doorknob literally burning the witch's hand.
Okay, yeah.
Beatrice-sama.
What is this? A ward against magic? Wide-eyed Beatrice.
Yeah, new sprite.
Is that person unable to get by without relying on something like this?
I have heard that this door would cause you great pain, Beatrice-sama. Shall I open it?
No. It is fine.
She's gonna...
If he wins, I will be a bird in a cage for all eternity. If he loses, only the life of a laughingstock will be left. The life of a pitiful magician who went mad with love and lost everything. Already, Kinzo and even I are nothing more than pieces laid out on the game board. All that is left is for the roulette to decide who wins and who loses. Until the roulette shows its results, there is no need for me and Kinzo to meet again.
Dang. The witch looked at her hand, which was beginning to heal bit by bit, even though it had been horribly burned.
Or perhaps that is why he has this ward here in the first place. Yes, perhaps even that is honorable in its own way. By now, everything sits on top of Kinzo's game board. I like it, Kinzo. Allow me to enjoy my game with you. Allow me to enjoy the failure of the final gamble of the old magician who fell in love with me and threw away his entire life.
You know, I'm gonna say it.
Uh-huh. Oh!
I'm looking at Kenzo right now. I'm looking at this scene. I'm looking how she's talking about him. And I am Danny DeVito. I get it. Oh my god, I get it.
I thought you were telling me that you were Frank.
No.
Let me be Frank. Meow.
If only I had a woman who could talk about me like that.
I wasn't in until I saw the end, the end of episode 7 or 8.
Dang.
And I was like, okay, you got me. I'm here.
I folded much sooner than you.
Yeah.
She might be a horribly crazy, extremely long-lived maniac who murders people for fun. That's never stopped me before. I like Jing Liu.
True.
I don't know who this voice is, so I'm just going to read it as myself. Who is it?
Excuse me. I have brought lunch. Oh, it's me. Enter. Excuse me.
You already said that.
It's more in Japanese.
Beatrice can understand it in all languages at the same time.
Aw.
So it sounded right for some, but it didn't sound right at all for others.
I do not envy the people that had to translate this gigantic novel.
After receiving approval, Canon entered the VIP room, pushing the serving cart that carried lunch.
This is on the second floor.
They're rich. They probably have like a dumb waiter.
Well, I wouldn't call Goda dumb, but
But I would.
honestly, I wouldn't put it past them to just have a cart on each floor.
The servants called this room the Witch's VIP room. That was because Kenzo strictly ordered that it was always to be kept clean so that it could be used at any time. Even so, guests would not be allowed into this room, no matter who they were. That's why, at some point, the servants had started calling it the VIP room, which was supposed to be set aside only to welcome the special person Kenzo waited for. The witch from that portrait. What?
If I was a servant on Rokenjima, I would not call it the VIP room. I'd be calling it the Where IP room.
And Pertusa gets killed by Beatrice. And
Yeah, she wouldn't. Yeah.
again, me and you, in that moment, we're standing next to Canon, talking about this right now.
Yes.
And today, Canon realized that this was absolutely true. Where IP room? Oh. It's a nice room.
Yeah, we get to see this background. We hadn't seen it before, huh?
When he entered the room, the blonde-haired witch was gazing out the window. Is it blonde?
She got nice windows, too. Oh my gosh, there's even more windows over there.
Yeah, I feel like this is the most naturally lit room we've seen so far in this house.
Mm-hmm.
Outside, the rain was no longer falling weakly. As she looked out at the beautiful rose garden, which had been tended to over several days for today's sake, as she saw the winds and rain ravage it, she was struck by some sentimental feelings? Was she struck by some sentimental feelings? Oh my gosh. Canon was not able to tell anything more from her back, which faced him.
I will prepare the meal. Oh, Beatrice Summer. Oh, he means like put it all out, right?
I brought all of the separate ingredients up
That's
here.
what. That's what had me for a minute. I was like, did you not cook it?
If you were so good at magic, do it yourself.
He
bitch.
would.
No,
He would.
Canon went out of his way to call out the witch's name, hoping that she'd turn around. He wanted to know. He wanted to know if the witch who'd tempted him and Shannon in the past had really appeared again.
Maybe.
When he did, the witch whose name had been called laughed, her back still facing him. Holding back her voice, she laughed. Canon was startled. It was almost as though she had read his mind and knew that he called out to her, hoping to make her turn around.
It smells good. It appears Kraus hired a good cook. Yes. He is called Goda and was employed here recently. There's nothing better than being skilled at cooking. Delicious food completes the 3 pillars of pleasure for living in the human world. It is the secret to preventing boredom after 1,000 years.
Canon and the witch's eyes met. Then she grinned. Without a doubt, certainly, this was clearly the witch from that day, Beatrice. The witch that no one but he and Shannon could see in the past finally held a form and had arrived openly as a guest through the entrance hall.
No. Beatrice Summer. Oh, here we go. It has been a long time. Canon the furniture. It has been quite some time.
Canon tried to remember to be polite to this guest for the time being. But the visit of this suspicious witch made dark clouds start to enshroud his heart, especially considering that today was the family conference.
You appear to be uneasy about what I plan to do now that I have appeared. Am I right?
No.
Oh.
Canon didn't force an answer. Nuh-uh. Oh my god. I read that line very quickly in my head, and I read it as, this witch probably takes meds.
Dang, not true. She absolutely
Yeah, definitely
would
not true. This witch probably reads minds. So it's pointless to go through the trouble of saying it out loud. Of course, she could read even his inner resistance. So the witch giggled at Canon's childish defiance. Again, this is just a rehashing of the Fushuan thing we were talking about with, she can read your mind, bro.
True.
It's over. I'm folding.
Yes, which that may need reconsidering now that we have new characters out.
True.
But anyway. I came to fulfill my final promise with Kinzo. Your final promise with the Master?
God damn.
I lent Kinzo a mountain of gold. When Kinzo gives that up, it will be returned to me with interest. I came to accept that interest tonight. I don't know what you're talking about.
However, uncertainty began to gather in his heart. Whatever this witch had to say, it couldn't be anything good. Oh no.
There's no mistake. Whenever witches have something to say, it's never anything good. You are correct. However, like scissors, the potential of witches depends entirely on how they are used. Sometimes there are those like King Solomon who succeed in great exploits. However, most who make use of us end up meeting a cruel fate, just like in fairy tales. But Kinzo is crafty. He has incorporated even my collection of the interest into his ceremony. Is he an absurdly powerful magician who can surpass even me? Or else a mere fool possessed by madness? Amusing. Truly amusing.
Canon couldn't guess what the witch was muttering and laughing about.
Yeah.
All he knew was that anything that made this witch laugh must have the exact opposite meaning for everyone else. And in the back of his mind, the horrifying words the witch had spat at him in the past began to resurface. As you do it.
Okay. What? Did you think I'd lend you my power and ask for nothing in exchange? I'll gladly assist a pair in love. And in exchange, I'll enjoy watching the cruel fate they'll eventually meet. I have never come across a better show, not over the course of 1,000 years. I need like the old-timey, like cripply or crispy sound effect. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
black and white movie style.
Yeah. I can do that in editing, but not in live. Could it be that you... Behold, the sweet fish river running through my beloved hometown.
This is the first time we've talked about the epitaph since like the middle of episode 1.
Best be getting to it, boy. You who seek the Golden Land, follow its path downstream in search of the key.
The witch suddenly began to recite a bizarre poem. It was something he remembered hearing.
Could it be the witch's epitaph?
I can't even get to starting to decipher it because I don't even know where Kenzo grew up. I don't know where his hometown is.
Behold the
If it's
Sweetfish River.
even if it's talking about Kenzo, it might not even be talking about Kenzo.
Behold the Sweetfish River. That runs
There
through
are
my hometown?
several rivers.
Huh.
Wouldn't you
But how
know it?
many
The planet Earth
Sweetfish
has at
ones?
least 2 rivers.
But how many Sweetfish Rivers are there?
Probably several. I would assume that there's more than one Sweetfish River in the world. What even is a sweetfish? There was no mistake. Right now, more than anything else, it was the epitaph that accompanied the portrait of the witch Kenzo had put on display. The relatives had guessed that it referred to the location of the hidden gold, but no one knew what it meant for sure. The witch suddenly began reciting that epitaph. We're getting creepy. music.
Oh. This is either Hour of Darkness or Corridor of Purgatory. I can't remember which.
Purgador
Canon.
of Darkness.
Whoa. Purgador of Hornus. Canon. Since you are furniture, I imagine you've heard about it from Kinzo. The day when everything will be returned to the Golden Land has come.
It's Revelations?
Rejoice! The day when you will be freed from the shame of living as furniture has finally arrived.
Oh, that's a good thing. Right?
Yeah.
What do they become, though? Do they become humans, or are they something else?
I believe you've waited. No, wrong word. I'm you. I believe you've wanted that for a long time.
When you're reading so much, eventually you stumble.
Yeah. Our accuracy rate's pretty good, though. To furniture, which finds no value in its own existence, merely existing day to day must be nothing but agony. To those with souls, this world is worth clinging to. But those without souls find this world to be full of nothing but suffering.
That's what they are?
Yes.
They're bodies without souls?
Maybe. Let her keep cooking.
Okay, okay. So they're like golems.
That's me.
Complicated expressions flitted across Canon's face. This was the day of release that Canon had been looking forward to. However, the coming of this day had been
Bro.
mercilessly sudden. I apologize.
I was gonna say, I cannot edit that out.
I know.
Move past it, keep reading.
Where was I? And for some reason, he didn't like the hateful tone used by this witch as she informed him of the coming of this long-awaited day of rest.
Yeah.
Canon couldn't even decide. Okay! Canon couldn't even decide what emotion he should be feeling.
Why do you not rejoice? Could you actually have some regrets left in the real world? As mere furniture? I have no regrets, because I am furniture.
Uh-huh.
You truly are a model specimen of furniture. How nice, how nice. However, it won't be any fun if you have no regrets at all. Are you saying regrets are how you find pleasure? That is correct! Most witches who live for 1,000 years get tired of life. In order to escape boredom, I adorn people's fates with fruit and brandy and cook them like cakes. I find humans dancing through oppressive fates inside an oven to be so very entertaining. You see, I'm actually a tad famous in this regard. So much so that rare guests come from far away to see my skill at cooking.
Let her cook.
Perhaps this is something that mere furniture cannot understand.
Canon couldn't understand what the witch was saying. However, he fully realized that this was a terrifying being who treated the fate of humans as a show, enjoying it whenever some harm befell them. However, furniture has no soul or life, much less a fate. Pitiful furniture does nothing but serve until the day they're released from the real world. To furniture like that, the witch, who had come to release them from everything, was a being to be received with overflowing affection. Even though the day Canon should have been waiting impatiently for had come, he was confused by his own inability to accept it easily. Why was it? The face of Shannon, the person he loved as a sister, rose to his mind. And for some reason, Jessica's face did too.
Oh, sorry, no, that's not the right line.
Skeleton. Give me 1 second, I need to check
Oh,
something.
skeleton!
Okay, we're good. Skeleton! Canon bit his lower lip hard enough that it hurt. Thinking about Jessica like it was something furniture must never do. Oh, thinking about Jessica like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whoa.
Was something furniture must never do. Thinking about Jessica and biting your lower lip, Canon?
There's a lot of lower lip biting
So
in this,
hard that
this
it
episode.
hurt?
God. What?
Even though
Skeleton!
Even though he thought he'd known that, even though he'd complained about Shannon's relationship, why was it that Jessica rose to his mind at a time like this? He felt a little shameful at his own naivete, and to forget about Jessica, he turned his thoughts to Shannon. Shannon is also furniture. She has no reason not to rejoice at the coming of the day when all will return to nothingness. Dang, okay, so they just poof. But Shannon, through her relationship with George, has experienced an emotion forbidden to furniture.
Bro, I gotta say, I somehow got into a rabbit hole of Umineko Twitter the other day. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but I found out that on Twitter they have Happy Furniture Thursday.
Yeah?
So we've been playing the right game the whole time.
Okay. All right.
We're part of it. Happy Furniture Thursday, everyone.
Happy Furniture Thursday. Oh, I'm gonna start putting that in the announcement posts for the streams.
There you go.
Even though she isn't qualified to be bonded with him, she's still trapped in a dream that she isn't allowed to have. Will Shannon be able to joyfully accept this development? No. Oh, sorry.
You were really torn up about that, huh?
At least I didn't belch again. No,
Yeah.
she won't. Shannon still has lingering regrets. Those will probably become a great source of pain and torture for her. And those lingering regrets were planted by none other than this witch. Why? Because that would be more interesting. Nothing more.
This day that Shannon should have been waiting impatiently for will probably be a harsh burden for her, giving her emotions that she must never experience. I thank you for granting me, us furniture, the day of our release. And I hate you for making this day so difficult for Shannon to accept. I wanted to make you suffer from your regrets as well, just like Shannon. However, you continue to live like furniture with foolish honesty, never getting ensnared by me. And yet, it seems you loved Shannon a little too dearly, right? Shannon's regrets are now your regrets. Will those feelings transform into hatred for me?
Rain?
If you wish to kill me, give it a try. As Kinzo's furniture, you should have at least that much power, right? However, if you kill me, then the day of rest for furniture will not come for all eternity. Could you bear to live with that? Are you truly capable of resisting when I try to release you? Kneel! What? Kneel and kiss my shoes. Otherwise, I will leave this place. I'll go back and never show myself again for all eternity.
Damn.
So, Canon,
What a brat.
do you think you could bear to live like that? If the door to the Golden Land is opened, your hard life as furniture will end. If you desire, I can even give you life as a human. After that, you will be on the same level as Jessica.
Set!
Surely you want to experience the taste of love. I don't know. The background's gone and I'm scared. There's no point trying to hide it. After seeing Shannon indulging in the sea of sweet love, you grew jealous. You are sorely tempted to know the taste of love. Doink. Stop it. Stop it. Are you trying to ensnare me again? I won't be reduced to a toy for your amusement. Oh. Then I will be satisfied with Shannon alone. After all, you aren't the only one who was implanted with a seed.
Who did what to him?
Goda, even fruiting plants sometimes fail to bear fruit after all. The one who obtains the key must then travel to the Golden Land in accordance with these rules. On the first twilight, offer the 6 chosen by the key as sacrifices. Oh, we're back to doing this. Okay. On the second twilight, those who remain shall tear apart the 2 who are close.
We're like several thousand words from the last time this guy. They have to remind us.
Mm-hmm.
The witch recited the epitaph again.
Thanks.
It was so sudden and diverged so strongly from the current topic. However, that challenging smile made it seem almost as though she was using that epitaph as a threat against Canon.
Do you not understand? For the ceremony of the epitaph to succeed at the second twilight, 2 who are close must be offered as sacrifices. It could be any 2 who are close. A husband and wife, or even a pair of lovers. According to the rules of the ceremony, who will be selected is up to me to decide on a whim. Don't you think there could no more fittings? I was right, it didn't sound right in my head.
Wow.
Don't you think there could no more fitting sacrifice for the second twilight than Shannon as she is now? They definitely omitted B.
It is missing B. It is missing
Okay,
B.
that messed me so hard.
It is wrong. It's
Oh. I sure hope someone was fired for forgetting 2 letters in this visual novel.
Oh man. Okay, so she is the key then in the epitaph. She is the key because the one selected by the key, and she just said whoever she picks. So she's the key.
Maybe.
That's what I'm going with for now.
Okay. dirty.
I don't like how Canon says that. Canon realized something. Until today, he thought he'd given up everything else and lived as furniture, acting like furniture. But in reality, that wasn't true. He loved Shannon too dearly. Therefore, when Shannon was in pain, Canon shared in that. If only Shannon had continued to live as furniture, indifferently like Canon, without any regrets in the world, he wouldn't have had to be in so much pain. It's all her fault. It's all her fault.
Yes.
The witch planned to toy with Shannon, who had known the taste of love. No, whom she had taught the taste of love, as she killed her. She wouldn't be welcomed into the Golden Land and granted a compassionate release. Instead, if the witch had her way, she'd be used as a sacrifice, subjected to the utmost of torture and pain, and forcibly turned into a human foundation for this evil ceremony. And this witch would probably make Shannon meet this horrible fate for no reason other than that it was amusing to her. Furthermore, she was threatening to do this so that she could make Canon, who had never submitted to the witch, finally give in. It was that simple. In the end, though he had tried to resist the witch and avoid pleasing her, he had only made things more amusing for her. After all, he was furniture. No, a toy. They were nothing but toys, meant only to distract her from her boredom. I can't wait for Canon to start walking around going, "After all, I am a toy."
Yeah.
Imagine he's talking to Jessica. What?
It's gonna go so hard.
He broke it up for you.
It made me think of the funny way someone says it. You know what I'm talking about? No, it's the like I don't even know like the it's like the really nerdy way. Have you? It's the meme of in 1971 Playboy released an edition in Braille.
What?
Have you not seen this clip?
No.
No, this is mandatory. This is mandatory. Hold on. Let me pull it. I'm getting it. I'm getting it immediately. 1977, sorry. Share. Give me the link. This needs to, this is so worth it. Okay, I just sent it to you.
They're just gonna hear the audio for now. Wait.
This is a limited
Yeah.
edition Braille Playboy from 1977.
The library.
Damn.
Ah! Damn!
That's how I thought Canon said it.
Damn!
Okay, sorry, I'm back. I'm locked back in.
Damn!
It's so hard. Okay. What will you do, Canon? If you kneel, I might refrain from choosing Shannon as a sacrifice. See? I've always wanted to make a toy like you surrender someday.
Without even a fragment of elegance, the witch sneered at Canon and laughed indecently. I think that one is the funny face from the old sprites.
Yeah, probably. It looks like it. I will inevitably eventually use the old sprite for
The thumbnails.
thumbnails.
And
I know
the audience will get to see them because they can't just look them up on their own.
Exactly. But there's a specific part of the story that I really want to use the funny face, and I'm hoping I'll time it up correctly. We'll see. We'll see if I do or not.
That's right. She'd predicted Canon's submission even before he'd made that decision himself. Canon likes making that noise this episode.
Yeah.
Canon chose to get down on both knees in front of the witch. Didn't matter what happened to himself. However, the one thing he couldn't bear to see was Shannon, who had given him his only reason to live during his days as furniture, being toyed with like this. That was why kissing the shoes of the witch was an easy oath for Canon to make. When his quivering lips actually touched the witch's shoe, Beatrice let a look of ecstasy rise to her face, then laughed with a voice filled to bursting. Holy! At that moment, the witch, who had grown bored of life after 1,000 years, was completely filled with the evil emotion that she lived for.
We out.
When lunch ended, the relatives moved to the parlor. Rosa had bought a high-class brand of black tea from a famous store in Ginza. That had been served, and the parlor was filled with a pleasant aroma. Since the children were there too, the adults tried to interact like normal relatives on the surface, talking peacefully about recent events and how their children were growing up. It had started raining. It had started raining, so the children couldn't do anything but sit here like this, watching TV, unable to go outside. Maria was apparently a TV kid.
Oh, we're going through this again.
One of those millennials.
Yeah.
And she kept watching a boring daytime program without getting bored, giggling all by herself. Giggling all by yourself, handsome? At first,
I
Badler
can
joined
help
in,
with that.
seeming to deepen his relationship with Maria. But he had gotten up early that morning and was gradually hit by a wave of drowsiness.
There you go. Oh.
Oh, wait, that was a yawn?
I didn't get any of it, but I'm assuming you did it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's a big yawn. Did you get up really early this morning?
Well, something like that. Now that all the tension's gone, I've started getting sleepy while listening to the sound of the rain. Tension? You call freaking out like that tension? At least it is for me. Battler gave another great yawn and slowly lay down on the sofa. Isn't this with all of the parents there?
Yeah, I guess.
He really did look tired. George and the others tried talking to him, thinking it was a sign of boredom. But when they realized he really was sleepy, they decided to let him be.
I haven't seen you in a bit. Okay. My. They say that if you lie down right after eating, it'll become a mackerel. Here we go again. She's mackerel posting.
Mackerel!
Lock her up. Put her in the old home. Ho, 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 ho.
Stop kidding around. Goda-san said we'd be having calf steak tonight. That'd make it mackerel steak. Kumasawa-san, he looks pretty tired. Could you get him a blanket?
Ho, ho, ho. Here you go.
Kumasawa brought a blanket over from the shelf. The large parlor wasn't cold, but the air had gotten a little chilly. So, when Badler took the blanket, he immediately wrapped himself up in it like a turtle.
Oh. You really were, Eepy. When would you like to wake up? I'll wake you.
God damn it. Nah, can't say I've got any particular requests. You can wake me up if you need something from me. And if you don't, just let me sleep forever. Night.
Huh? Battler's sleeping? A nap? A nap? Oh, I'll do it too!
Hey, Maria. Vadler's sleepy, so you've got to leave him alone. And Kumasawa-san, could you give us another blanket? Frozen right now, like, thank God. It was doubtful whether Maria really wanted to take a nap. She probably saw Badler wrapped up in a blanket and wanted to do the same. When she received the blanket from Kumasawa, she joyfully wrapped herself up in it and set up camp again in front of the TV. Sheesh. Just when we'd finally gathered all the cousins together after 6 years. This guy doesn't have a clue that he's the main guest of this family conference, does he? I can still hear you. We took it easy eating lunch, and there's even a typhoon and rain outside now. Since I've got nothing to do, that means it isn't my turn yet.
I wonder about that. If you have a passive attitude like that and never do anything unless something else happens, your life will be pretty boring, right?
No, that's not what I mean. How should I put it? At times like this, I like to think about it this way. It isn't my turn. If this were a play, it wouldn't be my turn to go on stage. Or perhaps if it was a game board, we say. So the best thing to do is stay on the wings of the stage. You're always the main character of your own life, right? When did TJ start writing? Why are you acting like you're in a supporting role? You gotta move forward by yourself and get up on the stage.
All of this about why ain't you talking right now?
Mm-hmm. It's the 80s. They didn't know how to do anything else. That's not what I mean. I'm trying to say it's not my turn yet. Gah. Sorry, I'm sleepy and my mind's a mess. Give me a break. Munya munya.
No kidding. You're so sleepy, you're spouting nonsense. Let's leave him be for now.
Hey, I can't let him get away with saying crap like that. What,
Why
munya
not?
munya? You're always the main character in your own life. Oh,
She's tweaking.
She's
She's
getting
projecting.
flashbacks to canon. She's getting canon flashbacks right now.
Yeah.
I've got serious issues with what Badler's saying.
Oops.
Womp womp.
Yeah. He's just half asleep. Don't take him too seriously.
It's just that lack of guts. You know, not wanting to go on stage just because you think you can't be the main character. Something about it just pisses me off. A lot of things just piss you off.
Mm-hmm. 確かにな.
With distant eyes, Jessica gazed out the window at the gray rose garden obscured by rain. When she put her forehead up against the glass, the pleasantly cool sensation seemed to chase away memories she was trying to forget. So, it just wasn't your turn yet? Is that it? Then, when will you get up on the stage?
Don't tell me she'd be thinking about...
She's thinking about her hubby right now. In that case, who the heck is the main character on this stage? Kenzo. The least present character so far.
An unknown 20th character. Oh, we meta mode.
We're finally in the metaverse. Mark Zuckerberg, you've done it.
Yeah.
No, 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 no.
Yeah. Me reading the 1977 Braille playbook.
Damn!
I can't. Okay, read.
Dang. It's like you think you can do whatever you want. What the hell is all this? It's all screwed up.
I was merely amused that your reason for denying me was based on whether there were 18 or 19 people. I just tried changing my opening move, no more. Your greatest basis for denying me is simply that I wasn't laid out as a piece on the game board. So all I have to do is start by focusing on the queen, like this. Isn't opening the road for the queen on your first turn one of the classic moves in chess?
Quit playing around. There's no way I can accept something like this, right? A witch came in, walking right through the entrance hall, you say. Don't mess with me.
What's this? In the last game, I gave you incredible freedom in making your moves, correct? This time, all I'm doing is moving my pieces in response to your moves. Are you already giving up right at the start?
You bastard. Don't mess with me. Like hell I'd give in. Great move. Go ahead and just move however you like. Okay, so your turn's far from over, is it? Move however you want. Form a huge battle formation while you still can. I'll definitely withstand you. I'll definitely corner you. Come at me as best you can. I don't want you to have any excuses. That's a new one. You aren't even close to making me accept something like a witch. He looks like he's biting his lower lip.
Yeah.
That's right. Just now, it looked like Maria's candy was fixed with magic. But you might have actually had another one of the same candy hidden in your pocket and switched them with that little show, making it only look like you fixed it with magic. Yeah, that's right. That has to be it. It's useless. It's all useless.
Oh, Rosa saw the moment when the candy split into butterflies, correct?
Splot.
Yeah.
Who cares about that? That was a hallucination, or a trick, or maybe she just saw it wrong. That isn't a big problem.
So you throw out the part you can't explain as trivial? I see. Is that your move in response to mine? You've dug your own grave. Ushiromiya battler. It still isn't your turn yet.
Is this entire episode her turn because it's titled Turn of the Golden Witch?
Baby.
I...
Allow me to make my move for a little longer.
5 hours later.
It has barely begun. The turn of the witch.
Then she said the turn of the... and she capitalized it. She knows.
Oh, we're back. Easy
We're
as that.
back.
Yeah.
When they started hearing Badler's snores, the relatives went their separate ways, leaving the parlor and letting Badler sleep in silence. The hit game?
Yeah.
Even though it had been so lively in the parlor with so many people gathered there. When all of them scattered at once and were swallowed up by the vast mansion, it created an eerie silence with no sound except that of the rain. They all saw Badler snoozing and were like, look at this bozo, let's get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Oh,
Nope.
now we get Rudolph Kyrie bedroom time.
Nope. That's all I wanted to... I haven't met a person like that even once. Aneki?
Oh, no, they're all just in the bed. Okay.
Now we get Rudolph Ava bedroom time.
Nope. Nope.
I haven't met them. Kyrie-san, is that true? Oh.
Even I only greeted her briefly when she came into the entrance hall. She looked like she was a bit over 20. I told her my name, but she didn't tell me hers. She was being guided by Genji-san, and I saw her go up to the second floor. So, it'd probably be faster to find Genji-san and ask him directly. Still, what a strange turn. Get it? Because it's her turn.
The turtle.
Because Vatler was turtled in blankets, and turtle kind
Yes.
of sounds like turn.
Yeah.
The mystery woman had spoken to Kyrie. Without naming herself, she'd sneered that Kyrie should have had a vague idea as to her identity. That brought someone to mind. And then there was her lookalike, the witch in the portrait.
New. Do you like the new one?
I mean, I like it just as much as the last one.
Oh, okay.
It's good. It's good painting.
Yeah. Was this person trying to say she was the witch of the portrait herself?
I realized she was probably laughing at me for that reason. Even though it was our first meeting, she spoke as though she knew I'm your second wife.
Aneki, you really don't know anyone like that? You talk too much. I've never seen a blonde woman like that go in or out of this mansion.
That kind of thing doesn't matter. The problem's what happens if that woman starts calling herself Beatrice. If she starts calling herself the manager of father's assets.
Or maybe she plans to call herself his mistress's daughter and demand that she get a share of the inheritance. Either way, we've had one heck of a joker slipped into the deck.
No, this is chess, Ava.
Balatro now out on Steam.
Which
Did
is
Nisa?
Balatro?
True. I want to play that. I might stream that next week. We'll see. Did Nissan bring her here? Or did father? This is bad. We thought we could manage something if we could corner Aniki in our talks. But this takes us back to square one.
I don't know what kind of schemes you've been making when I'm not around, dear. But it looks like we've been given a little time to form a counter-strategy.
Yeah. Better have some time to prepare than to have that blonde-haired Nachon suddenly appear at the dinner table and scare the shit out of us.
Until we know why she's appeared, there's a limit to the kinds of counters we can make. What could she be after?
Isn't it obvious? She's going to claim that she's the rightful heir to father's inheritance. Father is still captivated by Beatrice. If he had a daughter with her, you can bet that he'd want to leave all his fortune to her. She might even thrust some strange will in front of us. If we take it to court, we could probably claim a quarter or a half of it. No, a quarter of a half of it. Holy moly. But it'll probably be impossible to divvy out the inheritance until that's settled. We can't have that. I can't, and neither can you, Rudolph. And the same goes for Rosa, right? Each one of us needs to gather money quickly for our own reasons. More than anything else. It's our biggest weak point. So, what are they after? Kyrie, can you guess?
This is all news to me, but it sounds like we're starting from the premise that we've got an urgent need to collect money, right? So she was just in the dark last time. She was not informed at all.
Yeah.
Curious-san, in a man's business, you sometimes need funding when you're on the offensive. Please understand that.
What's this, Rudolph? You didn't tell Kyrie-san about it.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Sorry. I wasn't really hiding it. Actually, it was kinda,
It's all right. If you decided this wasn't something you needed to tell me about, I won't press you about it right here. What's more important is finding out what this Golden Witch is after, right?
Yeah. Now that you know what we know, can you see how the enemy might come at us?
Rudolph had a certain measure of trust in Kyrie's unique thinking technique, chessboard thinking. Woo! Of course, it didn't give him any more peace of mind than fortune-telling. But every time Rudolph was polishing up some important strategy, he'd give a great deal of thought to Kyrie's advice. For a while, Kyrie pressed her finger against her forehead, considering.
Ooh.
Judging by the fact that her arrival was kept hidden until today, she must be planning to catch us by surprise in some way. We can't tell for sure whether she's after assets or being recognized as a relative. However, her coming was kept secret until today, which probably means she didn't want us to take any measures against her, something we might have done if we'd known beforehand. So her goal is probably something that could be hindered if we were to take measures against her. Understand?
I get it. So if she had a will that father had already written, or something that could prove that she's a blood relative, if she had some unshakable, rock-solid proof like that, you think she'd announce it beforehand. That's right. On the contrary, since we're in a position to doubt her, she should have brought a lawyer or an expert and thrust some completely undeniable proof before us. If she could.
So the mere fact that she's launching a surprise attack shows that our foe can't win with a frontal assault. Makes sense. If a trump card can win no matter what, it's best to play it out in the open. If you play it in a roundabout way, it might end up weakening its impact.
Skipping to the conclusion, we can probably expect to be faced with some huge surprise. Something related either directly or indirectly to the inheritance problem that's on everyone's minds. Our opponent probably plans to overawe us simply by the impact of this shock. However, no matter how great the impact might be, it cannot be absolute.
In other words, we have enough leeway to take advantage of this.
You've really got brains. I see why Rudolph married you now. Even understanding just this much is really reassuring. In other words, you're telling us not to get sucked into our opponent's pace.
In the end, it's an extremely simple conclusion. No matter what our opponent brings up, we should deal with it calmly, without rushing things. This is just the very first step in the art of negotiation. You really can't say you've predicted your opponent's thoughts with just this.
Come on. Just like usual, that was pretty good. Now that we know what we've got a little leeway to attack, helps us relax a bit.
What we don't know is how she's connected to Kraus Nissan. Will it be a surprise for Kraus Nissan too? Or was he actually the one who called her here in the first place? If it's the latter, that might make things very troublesome.
That's right. Secretly calling a mystery woman on the day of the family conference. It would be in terrible taste, but it does feel like something Nissan would do. Aneki, let's do this. As long as she can't clearly prove her identity, we won't accept her position in any way.
Famous last words.
That would be for the best. Already, she's refused to introduce herself to Kyrie-san. We can't let our conference be disturbed by the statements of some unknown woman.
She might even show us proof that she's a blood relative. If she can prove father's blood runs through her veins, like with a maternity record document, there's nothing we can do.
It's always possible to suspect that physical evidence has been faked.
AI generated.
And even if it's real, in order to prove that the person in the documents is the person we see, we'd need to check their condition at a hospital. At the very least, it'd be impossible to prove that now, on Rokinjima. You're right. So in other words, it's something like this. No matter what's shown to us now on Rokinjima, it can't be accepted as truth. We can't believe anything until the typhoon passes and they prove it to us at the proper place. Spotting all kinds of holes and stuff like this is Anaki's specialty. Screw my wife, she didn't do nothing. We'll be counting on you. Are you joking? You'll be helping too. We need the money. We need it quickly, and a large sum.
More than anything.
More than anything. Our fates are all tied together in this. As if we just stand by and let some suddenly appearing mystery woman destroy the inheritance we're after.
Rudolph and Ava always formed a united front as siblings at times like this. Dang, sucks for Kraus and Rosa. Sickened by the idea that their own inheritance might be snatched away by an outsider. Kyrie noticed how indomitable they looked, shook her head slightly, and gave a small sigh as she gazed out the window. Outside, it was still raining heavily, and everything was gray, having lost all vibrance. The lush garden that the sun had shone on earlier now felt like a lie. For some reason, the words Ava said a second ago kept repeating in Kyrie's head.
So weird seeing the black and white.
So in other words, it's something like this. No matter what's shown to us now on Rokenjima, it can't be accepted as truth.
Yeah.
There was an odd nuance to those words. Kyrie always thought Ava was just a dumb bimbo. At that moment, the island was closed off by the typhoon and isolated. They had access to no public institutions and no hospital. So on this island, no matter what manner of proof related to the outside world was shown, it would always be possible to call it a lie. It would be impossible to prove that something was the truth. Now that they were isolated from the outside, all truths whose proofs lay in the outside world would be called lies.
Lies.
So does that mean
Does it?
that right now, more than anything else, on this Rokenjima, no truth exists at all? Does it mean that everything will now be ruled by lies alone?
Maybe.
It almost gives the illusion that we've left the human world of truth and have been shut away inside another world, one of lies.
Wow.
Kyrie remembered that woman's appearance one more time. She remembered both what she had looked like and the witch of the portrait. On this island, the witch... not the witch. On this island, which has been cut off from the world of humans and shut away in the world of non-humans, a non-human being has come to visit. Kyrie couldn't think of the smile that had appeared on that woman's face as anything other than the portent of misfortune. I get the feeling my chessboard thinking's missed a vital premise, one that'll be necessary to understand that misfortune-bearing smile. Is it the fact that she's just a cruel person and is hiding all of this evidence that you're talking about her needing to have simply because she wants to see you in agony?
Maybe.
Yes. That smile made me feel as though someone inhuman was mocking me. I've based my reasoning on the assumption that our opponent is a human like us. However, just like this island is now, she may be a being that isn't human, and human values may not matter to her. If that's true, all of our reasoning is useless. For what reason has the witch been invited here today? Only one thing is certain. Now, in this instant, she's staying somewhere in this vast mansion.
Maria, around lunchtime today, we met her outside, right? A woman. Who was she?
No, I said it over and over. Beatrice.
Maria, did you ever meet Beatrice before that?
Oh, I met her every year.
Oh, creepy music. Every year? In this mansion on Rokenjima?
No.
I don't know what U means. Is that true?
Yes.
How long have you been meeting her? How many years ago did it start?
I don't know.
You don't know? What do you mean? Was it last year? 2 years ago?
Longer than that.
Rosa was astonished. Only the Ushiromiya family mansion existed on this island, so there couldn't have been any humans other than themselves here. And yet, Maria said she'd been meeting with this suspicious woman every year during the family conference. If what Maria said was the truth, then that strange woman called Beatrice had been at the family conference every year. That's insane. Is Maria saying that eerie woman, I wouldn't call her eerie, was at the family conference every year and none of us ever noticed it? Even though Rosa had just met the woman herself a couple of hours ago in the rose garden, she was overcome with a strange emotion that told her not to accept that existence. Runs in the family, I guess. What in the world did I meet with earlier today in the rose garden as the typhoon grew near and the winds roared?
Maria, you said you've met with her every year. What do you two do when you meet?
We sing songs and learn magic. And I learned how to draw magic circles.
Really? That's incredible. Maria, you often draw scribbles. I mean, magic circles in your notebook, right? Did she teach you that too?
You know what? Beatrice drew examples to teach me. Come on, look!
Maria joyfully fished around in her handbag. Then she drew out a single notebook and began opening to that page. Most of the pages were covered with drawings that were literally scribbles. All of them were occult-like things. And while it might sound rude to Maria, who was joyfully flipping through the pages, they were all creepy.
Look here! Beatrice drew it.
Oh, that one was pretty all right, though. Each one of the pages in the group Maria opened to had an eerie magic circle. Furthermore, at a glance, Rosa could see that Maria hadn't drawn them. The strength of the strokes, the thickness of the lines, how clean the shape was. By itself, it wasn't enough to guess the background of the person who had written it, but it was enough for Rosa to be sure that it was someone older than Maria.
Oh.
Rosa had to accept it now. There really was a person on this Rokenjima that she herself hadn't known existed until now. And this person had come to the family conference every year to play with Maria.
Maria, does the witch Beatrice live here? Or does she live outside the island like us?
Oh, Beatrice is the witch of Rokenjima, so she lives on this island.
So you're saying she's on the island even on days when it isn't the family conference, right?
Oh,
I don't know what "oo" means. Yes or no?
yes.
What in the... I can't believe it. How long has this unknown witch been living on this island? I used to live on this island. I lived on this island passing the time in the mansion in the rose garden. And even so, I never encountered a witch like that. Right? Dun dun dun.
Oh,
Mama?
Mama.
Mama? What's wrong? Mama?
My head hurts.
Do they all have memory loss?
Maybe.
Because Kyrie tried to remember her and got a headache. And now Rosa's trying to remember something and got a headache.
I guess this is me. I was probably getting a little mixed up with my memories from when I was a young girl.
Something's going on.
Wrong
Something's going
picture.
on.
Maybe. When I was young, I was terrified of the witch, unlike Maria. So for me, the name Beatrice was a synonym for terror. Surely my fear from those days has been revived by the appearance of a woman going by that name. She can't be a witch. She's obviously a human calling herself Beatrice, right? That's right. That witch entrusted me with an envelope. What in the world could that be?
Rosa pulled that Western envelope out of her pocket.
Meow.
The umbrella!
Yeah.
It was one of the envelopes that bore the Ushiromiya family crest, which Kenzo used for his personal letters. And its red sealing wax had even been sealed by the head's ring which Kenzo held. Which meant this envelope belonged to the Ushiromiya family head. In other words, it was from father. Why was a woman calling herself Beatrice holding it? Why did she give it to me? That's right. I'm sure she said to read this out loud at dinner. What in the world could be written inside? A sense of uncertainty gripped Rosa, as if opening this envelope might let loose incredible misfortune. However, at the same time, a little curiosity sprouted up too, urging her to find out what was written inside before the other siblings could. Using common sense, one might guess that it contained a huge decision somehow related to father's inheritance. Actually, since she'd received it from a woman who called herself Beatrice, there simply had to be some connection. Does it mean that this person wants not just the 4, but a total of 5 people to be included in the inheritance?
I'm getting sick of this. This not thing. Ahem. I need a large sum of money, and I can't wait long, more than anything else. I feel like such a sinful daughter for discussing father's inheritance while he's still alive. But this is no time to spout off cheap ideals. And I've even colluded with Rudolf Nissan and Eva Nissan in order to get some money out of Kraus Nissan. Coming from that position, I can't help but see the appearance of the witch as a sign of approaching misfortune. That's still me, I guess. What could be written in here? I'm sure it's something frightening. Shall I read it secretly myself first?
The witch requested that it be read at the dinner table with everyone gathered. But if that's what she wanted, why couldn't she just read it aloud herself at dinner? Why? I'm just going to read it. Why did she go to all the trouble of entrusting it to me? Simply put, is it because she doesn't mind if I read it secretly beforehand? It'd be better to secretly read the contents first. I understand that'd mean breaking my promise. Remember what Maria said right before that. Never break a promise with a witch. But this is no longer the time for cheap ideals. Depending on the contents, I should probably discuss it with Eva Nissan and Rudolf Nissan too. They're always really good thinkers when it comes to this kind of thing. When I gulped and put my hand to the red sealing wax, something suddenly pulled on my sleeve and I let out a small scream.
What? Maria? Don't scare me like that. What is it?
Oh, you mustn't.
And Maria's expression was the same portent of misfortune she'd felt from that witch, and it sent a tingle up her spine.
Beatrice told Mama to read the letter during dinner. You mustn't break a promise with a witch.
That's not it. I just wanted to look at the envelope for a second. I'll keep my promise. After all, I always tell you to keep your promises. course I keep my promises.
Yes! Mama's a good girl.
Oh.
Holy. That laugh. It isn't cute, so stop it.
Huh.
Come to think of it, you received a letter too, Maria. What was written inside?
I haven't opened it. Beatrice said I mustn't open it until the time to open it comes. So I'm taking good care of it. Huh.
I see. You listen well to what Beatrice says, don't you, Maria?
Huh. I'm Beatrice's disciple, so I listen well to whatever my teacher says.
I see.
Rosa realized something. Mixed in with Maria's gaze was the glint of someone that wasn't her. If Rosa broke the rules and opened the envelope here, Beatrice would definitely learn of it. Because Maria was the witch's disciple. Maria was in contact with that witch.
I'll keep my promise. So tell Beatrice not to worry, okay?
Oh, I'll tell her.
Hey, Maria. If I wanted to speak to Beatrice, how could I meet her?
I don't know. Beatrice is very fickle, so she always appears suddenly. I don't know a way to get her to meet me. But you know, she's always watching me. So if I get in trouble, she'll definitely come and save me afterwards. She's definitely erased her form and is hiding close to me.
Yeah. Don't I always tell you to stop laughing like that? Uh-oh.
Rosa reflexively hit Maria on the head. That put a stop to Maria's laughing, but it wasn't able to erase the color that had risen to those eyes. A color that seemed to bear a portent of misfortune. Rosa swore. She swore that, at least until they left this island, she would not leave Maria alone. She couldn't allow an unknown being to make contact with her daughter any longer. Oh,
Rondo.
Rondo!
Skeleton!
Skeleton!
That better persist for a long time. 6? 6 o'clock. We still have the rest of the day before the
epitaph
Well,
begins.
if we go by last game board, then yeah. All right. Are we cooked?
Are you cooked?
I think I'm cooked because I gotta work tomorrow morning.
Okay, then yeah. I don't have anything I have to do, but I'm going off you. So,
All right.
I guess we'll call it here. I'm saving.
Yep.
I will never forget. Ever again.
Yeah.
Ah, well, gang.
We got a lot. Beatrice is on the board.
She is here. Beatrice
Yeah.
exists.
Well, Beatrice exists.
She exists.
Yeah. Rosa, still a bad mother.
Yep, still a bad mother, although now that a different mother figure has finally showed up in Maria's life, she's just finally started deciding to maybe stick around her daughter more often.
The siblings are freaking TF out.
Yeah, they're panicking hard. We got a lot more of Kyrie this time around.
Yeah.
It wasn't just her talking to Battler and being his Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And then dying.
Yeah, and then dying like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
True.
It was her actually flexing her detective brain and being like, this is why you shouldn't panic. And then internally being like, oh, wait, we should probably panic.
Yeah. And then we also got Canon to kiss Beatrice's shoe.
Yeah. What a simp.
I know, right? Some people. But otherwise, I think that's about it. Well, audience, what do you think so far? Did I do it?
Know anymore, man. I'm starting
know.
to get some strange, weird theories, like the whole I'm thinking hard about that the headache stuff now.
Get your crack
I
theories
didn't
going.
even think about the Nazi having a headache thing being related to the situation on the island. I just thought it was because she was always stressed all the time from being married to Kraus.
Well, who knows? You might be onto something. Maybe, maybe not.
Both Kyrie and Rosa had headaches after they were trying to recollect information about the island in the past relating to Beatrice.
Mm-hmm.
There's correlation. I don't know if it's causation, but there's correlation there.
Mm-hmm. But there's no new mysteries to ponder how they were done yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
No. But in the meantime, Saturday will be our what do we do on Saturday again? Oh yeah, Lethal Company.
Yeah.
Monday,
We still have Lethal Company in the bank?
a single one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow.
Monday, Elden Ring, which we now know we have a deadline, Levi.
Oh,
We
yeah?
got a dedeadline. June 21st is
Oh
when
yeah,
the
because Shadow of the
DLC
Erdtree
comes
DLC
out.
came out. That's right.
So we gotta finish by then.
Yeah. Yeah, because we are going to get screwed by
It'll
an
update regardless of.
Which means after that happens, I'm going to have to get rid of the mod and actually finish the game so that I can
True.
do the DLC, because I've never actually
Yep.
finished Elden Ring.
Me too. But yeah, let me tell you, audience, you're in for a banger next Elden Ring. We
Oh, yeah.
went crazy.
We cooked. Just like
Yep.
Beatrice. We
Yep.
cooked. That killed me.
That was so funny.
People from all over come to see my cooking.
It made me think of when I was blind and was reading the 1977 Braille Playboy.
Damn!
Finally, next week we'll stream as usual. We may toy with doing another Tuesday Umi and then Thursday me solo.
I'm good with that.
But just stay tuned. Keep attention on the community posts as always.
Yep, and I will be adding to them. I'm going to keep saying it so I remember to Furniture Thursdays. Whenever we do stream on Thursdays, it'll be Furniture Thursdays.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm done. Levi, you give your sign off.
Scribbling and hibble